Hi and welcome back. It's Karynjean. Thank you so much for being with me today. There are a couple of things I want to do and I'm not quite sure what they are. I crack myself up. Yeah, I have an idea of what I want to do. I just don't know how to bring it into reality. But anyway, as on the end of our last video, we were looking at these. I was messing around with these, right? My Tim Holtz things. But I have two of them. This one is unopened. So what I've decided to do is combine them into this container. These, I think I probably got these at Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to leave them in here. They're cardstock. They're pretty solid. And they might be able to be used in the journal as well. I don't know. But I want to combine these because I have lots in one and some in another. Maybe I'll just leave these in this clear envelope that I have. This is the stuff when I was talking about how you can make your own photo sleeves. You don't need to, buy the thing that from dollar store. I was talking about thin acetate kind of stuff like this. So let's get that in there. Let's get these in here. Okay. And I guess what I'll do is I will hang on to this, although I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But I will hang on to this in here. Let's see if I can, honestly, made a big fat mess. There. Oh, so what other creators do you follow on YouTube? I'm very curious about that. There are so many very talented people out there that do this, and I follow a fair few. But all right, I'm looking for the pink as we go through this old wallpaper stuff. I follow a fair few. Now this should be big enough that I can trim it down to, I think it's probably 8 inches. Trim it down to put it on the edge of a page if I want, like this. I know I've cut this down like that in the past and made a trim. Just looking to see that one again. Pretty, they coordinate. That's nice. I thought there was a bright pink. Did I not see that, or did I already use it? Here, you probably have glare from that. This one, right? That one. I'm looking for maybe that one. I didn't see that one either. But again, it could just be me. Now I do have, of course I have wallpaper, my own wallpaper. Is that the one I'm confusing? Yeah, it looks more pink here. Here it has a very green tinge to it, which might go, might not. All right. Anyway, I don't know. Do you know? Because I sure as hell don't know. I don't know. Put these in here. See if this will all fit in here. Maybe not. There it goes. Well, these won't fit in there anyway, but we have the bits. Oh, I need to take out the trash. We have a lot of bits in here that we can use. This one's pretty. It's the same one from the other day. That little piece did not punch out. Okay. Oh, so we can do that. I'm still deciding, although I think I've pretty much decided on what I want to do with the spine. Where am I going to put this? I have no idea. Put it back there. Okay, so here's our book. Now, here's the book. What I want to do is I want to figure out how to use this tissue paper in the book. Now, of course, I can make my own washi tape and run it down the sides of the book, right? I could do that. I could have covered the back of this if I was thinking at the time. I could have covered the back of this before I put it in the book. Here, let me get the tissue paper out. Oh. I believe I got this tissue paper at Michael's. I don't know if they carry this one anymore, though. I don't know if they carry this one anymore. So this, look how pretty this is. But it's tissue paper, so we got to be careful with it. So what I was thinking is I had pulled this out, a file folder. It was in that little ephemera collection of mine. I was thinking I could just use this, you know, make a little file folder for the book. I could do that. I also have white file folders, which I might decide to do instead, because I don't know, what is this going to look like? What is this going to look like on this? I mean, I can cover it with the file folder. I would use Heat and Bond. I would iron it on here to make sure that there was going to be no issues. And Heat and Bond is simply another adhesive, but it's an iron-on adhesive as opposed to an adhesive tape. It's the only difference. You iron it on. And that actually might be good because this is white, but because that's cream, it's manila, it pulls out. It's not... You don't see the white, and you tone down the manila-ish of that. Manila is what I'm saying. And on the inside, we can use these guys to cover the insides because we have that there, right? So we could use these guys to cover the insides. I would have to trim them a bit. Not an issue. And what I could actually do with this is when we were visiting the Jane Eyre Journal, and remember how I had connected two halves of something with some crocheted trimmings. Hold on, let me get one out. Like this one, right? And I sewed it down and connected them that way. We could also do it with like the pink or the green, because these are too wide to actually use as, unless I cut it down here, that's still kind of wide to put on the edge of a page, right? I mean, I could. Let's take a look, see how that would look. Like here. I would cut it down the middle there where there's, you know, I guess you could weave a ribbon in and out of that. We could, you know, I could do that and glue it down a little bit on the page so it would be hanging off the page like something like that. That actually might be nice. That's an idea. We can do that. We can do that. All right. Let's keep that in mind. But for this, I'll put this away because I like the idea of using these. I could cut this down to the size of this. right? Or I can, well, I'm gonna open this anyway. So that's the first thing. I need to take my sweater off. I put my sweater on because I thought it was gonna be chilly because I'm only wearing a tank top. But it's a little bit windy outside today, but it's 60 odd degrees as well. So, you know, so there's that. Okay, so this can go on the inside. If this is on the outside, and this will be on the outside, and we could use the pink. I'm thinking, though, to use the green instead to sew it and to join it. All right, that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of my sweater. The second thing I need to do is figure out, and see, this needs to be ironed anyway because it's all wrinkly plus. Figure out this. So, and because I'm going to want to, you know, fold it over, I'm going to cut it here. To there. And I'm going to cut it here. To there. Okay. And I'll fight with that later. I will use the heat and bond. Hopefully I cut it enough. Yeah. Because I will, when I iron this on, I'm gonna, well, not that way, but I will, just like covering a journal, although this is going to be two separate pieces, I will fold this over, and then these will be placed on top. So I'm going to have to cut this down. To, I don't know, I'm just gonna, let's just trim some off. This doesn't look very straight anyway. So let's go there. Doesn't need to be too much. And let's go there. Now, these should be straight. It should be straight. They are. I just need to take off a little bit more on the side. Let's go to here and see how that is. I think that's like 1/4 of an inch. More or less or more, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so that we can center that there. And then we can glue that down. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to open this up. I could keep it closed, but I like the idea of having it hinged with that lace. Okay, so open that up. Oh, I thought it shifted on me. And I also need to take off my slippers, for heaven's sakes. There. Dagnabbit. All right, let's try this. Okay. All right, so let's move over to the ironing board. Okay, I hope that's going to work. I'm not sure because it's a different arm and I actually can't see the camera. So anyway, so here we are at the ironing board. Oh. This is our lot. Good thing I do have another bolt of this. I did recently buy another bolt. Okay. So let's see what we got. We're going to put that aside. We're going to put this down. And that's where okay. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron the tissue paper. I'm going to try to raise this up. And I know it's jiggly, and I'm sorry. And I know it's crooked and all the things. All right, let's give it a try. I don't know. All right, so we're just going to flatten that out. And we're going to put it down here. Down, down, down. Okay. And it's going off the edge just a little bit, which is fine. And I'm going to cut it here. And I'm going to cut it here. It's got a bump in it. All right, whatever. And I'm going to fold it in half. It's hot because I always put my iron on really hot, and I shouldn't. Ouch, 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 ouch. And I cannot see that fold. Here we go. Okay. Now we have this one. Let's see if we can peel this off. Oh, here, we should be able to peel it from here. That's a beautiful thing. All right. We can get it there. Okay. Now, when I have fabric and I'm doing this with the journal, I cut the little triangle out so as not to put in bulk, but I'm not going to do that because this is tissue paper. And I want to make sure, of course, by not doing it, then there's going to be a little gap there on the corners that's not going to have any glue on it, and I can fix that with liquid glue. Like there's this edge here doesn't have, and now we're just going to pull it over. There, just pull it over. It's dark in here and I'm having trouble seeing what I'm doing. So I'm hoping that this is all snug. Okay. And here. Okay. And I might decide to do the same thing with this, is use the heat and bond, because it's just, I think it just will be that much easier and smoother. Whoops, nope. All right, let's see where we can find an edge. Here we go. Now we're going to do the same thing with this. This is the inside because we're going to cover it with that green paper. And then we're probably going to put pockets. Let's shift it over a little bit more. Put pockets on it, right? Because why not? Okay. Same here. And the same here. Let's do this one first. Now this one, on that corner. I don't think I ironed that side. I didn't. Okay, I have to iron the side where the tissue paper is. Okay. There. And this one. There. And let's see what we got here. Just if we can get these on as well. Ooh, sugar shoes. I was trying to be careful, but I wasn't careful enough. Okay, let's do this. And put that one there. Just get it started so it doesn't shift. It's really what I want to do. Okay. Okay. Oh, let's see what we got. Press that down. Press this one down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dag nabbit. I really can't see. Okay, let's try this one. Nope. Hot. Let's try this one. Yeah, that one's fine. Except it's missing a hunk down there, but that's okay. And there we go. There's, whoops. Okay, there's that one. And let's see if this one has adhered. Yes. And there's that one. I'm sorry I don't have any more of this paper. I only had this one sheet. And it was from the Stampin' Up stuff. It's not Stampin' Up paper, but it was from my friend's mother's stash. Okay, so now what we're going to do is turn off the iron, which I just did. We're going to take this over to the sewing machine and we're going to hinge it with that. So let's go to the sewing machine. Oh, okay, the first thing I had to do was change the thread because the last thing I made was I used the blue thread on the pockets for the inside of the covers. I cut this a little bit longer than necessary. I am trying to line up the, let me see if I get a little bit more light over here. I'm always having issues. I have another sewing machine at my feet and it's very cramped. where that center hole is. I'm trying to line that up on the edge. Now I'm going to, and I also had to, not only did I have to change the thread, but I didn't have a bobbin made, so I had to make a bobbin. All right, I'm just going to do a little back and forth, and I'm going to go straight down here. Whoops. And let's see if I need to, oops, do not sew it in straight, but that's okay. See if I need to do another stitch or not. Let's just cut the threads. Do another row of stitches is what I mean. There's going to be a pocket, so that's okay. Okay, well, you know, not perfect, but close enough for government work, as I like to say. Okay, this one, I'm gonna kind of bump it up right against there. Make sure they're straight. Put you down, put you in, get you locked in, and all right, wish me luck. Let's see what we got. And yeah, now, oh crap, they are so not even. Dag nabbit all. All right, which one are we gonna pull out? Oh, I have a itchy nose. I always have an itchy nose up here. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Let's pull out this one. I'm not sure where your field of vision is, quite honestly. I still have to figure out how to use my fancy camera. I did bring up my computer. My computer's usually downstairs. I have a finished basement, and that's where my bookcase, it's like a study, whatever. It's, you know, where my desk is, and my computer, and all my bills, that kind of thing. But I used to have my computer up here. And then when I went back to work, that's when I put it downstairs, because I was doing a lot of work from home, and, you know, I needed a spot to do that. So I'll probably just keep it up here for a while. I brought it up because I need to do that little thing for the top of the growth chart page, right? And I have so many printers. I bought an Epson Eco Tank during the pandemic because it had a lot of reviews, and I can't get the damn thing for colors and stuff. No. Personally, I don't like it at all. It doesn't come out right. It doesn't do what I want it to do. I have issues with it. So I have that one downstairs on that desk because I just print out black and white. The computer I have up here, not the computer, the printer I have up here is my HP, which I love it as far as the quality. But I guess they use different inks and stuff. I don't know. So yeah, so my good printer's up here. So I have that printer. I have my little Canon Selfie, which prints the 4x6 photos. And I print enough photos that's why I decided to do that as opposed to using just the HP. And I also have my little sprocket. I also have a very old Lexmark printer. I'm sure it prints color, But I know it prints color. Maybe it was cat. No, I'm pretty sure it's light. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's try this again, shall we? See if we can get these things to lay flat a little bit. And let's just do it. Let's do it this way. Let's do it from this side and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to put you there. I'm going to put you there. I need to scooch you forward a little more, though. Hold on. I'm going to put you there. Looks even to me. Oh, all right, let's lock it in place and continue on our way. I hope. I hope. I hope. At least this side is going to be straight because I can see where the end is. All right. And this little, I know I mentioned this before, my nice, it's blue. I like it because it's blue. It's a pretty color. This was actually, my daughter has, we call her a second mother, her best friend from high school. And very lovely family, very generous, just, it is once again crooked. And also, look, I sewed it on the wrong side. You know what? I can't. I have to leave it the way it is. Her second mama, her second mother. So she gave this sewing machine to my daughter, who's never owned a sewing machine in her life. I guess my daughter wanted to do something or other. I don't know. And my daughter had it for a while. And when I came back from my residency, I had a residency in West Virginia, and I came back and I was living with her for a few months until I got situated again. And I'm like, what is this you have here? She goes, oh, Mama so-and-so gave me that sewing machine. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, you want it? I said, of course. So I have this sewing machine, and I have another. So this is my workhorse. It's called the Kenmore Mini Ultra. Let me see if I can show it to you. Ooh, I'm holding the tripod, so hopefully I can show it to you. There it is, the Mini Ultra. And it's a workhorse. There's no way that I can figure out for me to do stitch length, right? But it does all these different stitches. 10 different stitches. 10 different stitches. And this is the only way. Let me see if I can get you there. Right there, see? There's your choice. There are your choices for stitch length. 1, 2, and 3. But anyway, so yeah. So I was gifted that, and then I don't use that for sewing clothes or anything, or quilting. I use my other machine for that, which was also gifted to me. And my sewing machine is tucked away in my closet. It's 30 years old. This is a little crooked, but I can't, I'm not going to do it again. All right, so this is a little wrinkly, but that's okay too. So here we go. We're going to put pockets. We're going to put some pockets on this, right? This is fun. What are we going to make the pockets out of? What we're going to make the pockets out of, if we have enough, is, ta-da, the scraps from, we're going to make them out of the scraps. These are scraps. I have another piece of this, but I'm not going to pull it out. We're going to use scraps because, you know me and scraps, I don't do scraps. So I want my pockets to be, if I can move stuff around. Here we go. 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches. 5 inches by 2.5. 5 by 2.5. So let's get... Okay. Now, I don't know. Can you see up there? Yeah, you can see up there. 5 inches. How wide is this? This is 3.5. That would be too narrow of a pocket. All right. Let's try to see if we had enough there, but we don't. So here we go. By 2.5. 2.5. Okay. Nope. The dog is back outside. The dog has been on her neighborhood watch. Whoops. Well, it's going to be a little bit less than 2.5. All right, let's do 2.25. Because I mussed it up. On her, no, not 2.25. On her neighborhood watch. I call it neighborhood watch. She sits at the front gate and just keeps an eye on everybody walking up and down the street, you know? All right, so 2.5. But then how much more down did I go? I don't know. 2.5. I was totally not paying attention. I think there. Yeah. Yep. So she was outside for quite a while earlier. I would say a couple hours. And I think I'm going to go wide and deep. Cut through that and try to keep as much pink as possible. So this is my 2.5 inch punch that I just dropped, trying to see the size of it. No, it's a 2 inch punch. I should have known that. I don't have a 2.5 inch punch. Yeah, that might be a little bit too deep, but that's what we're gonna do. My brother always coughs when he eats. I tell him he has a problem. It's related to his some of his medical diagnoses, and he says, "Oh, not the book. No, it's just sinuses. It's just sinuses." I'm like, okay. If you say so, just sinuses. Yeah. And before I even try to squeeze glue out of it, I'm just gonna stab it first. Okay. And I'm going to distress these pink because they're going onto the green. And they don't have enough pink because I wasn't paying attention to where to cut it to make sure it had the most pink in it. So there's that one. One. I'm pretty good with the Simon Hurley reinkers, not so much with the Distress Oxide reinkers. Actually, the only Distress Oxide reinker I think I have is the Tumbled Glass. Could be the Broken China. The blue that I use the most. Yeah, but as I try to... Also, the Distress Oxides, I do not think dry out as quickly as the Simon Hurleys do. But I've already said that. I've already said that. Okay. So here we go. You saw me stab it. You saw me clear it. You see me. Here it comes. Lord, I'm squeezing. Come on. No, it still doesn't want to play with me. seems to be fine. And we have some glue blurping out of it. Okay. And then again, we don't. Here it comes. Sweet Toledo. All right, I'm going to have to unscrew that cap and see what the heck is going on in there. Let's get this one glued down first, see how well it goes. It's not going. All right. Okay, I performed some maintenance on it. I unscrewed the cap and I went in from the other side. I pulled out all the dried glue, and there was a little bit of a dried glue plug in there that I was able to get out by going in from the inside. If that makes any sense. So, okay. I'm going to have to flatten this out with something or other. What we can also put here is, hold the phone, my dollar store paper pads. I would cut all this off. All right, let's see. 1, 2, I don't know. Let's bring out the paper trimmer again. Corey Donham, I am suddenly freezing on her last name, how to pronounce it correctly. She recently put up a video of her craft space. It was very nice. It's very nice. But she, and I think she made them herself, because she also does like woodworking. She builds things. Go Corey. Where she had a little box to hold the Distress Oxides. I'm going to do that top last. Where she had a box to hold, to hold 1 or 2 of the Distress Oxides, and also the daubers. Okay. And yes, I'm cutting that off because it doesn't go. Those flowers do not go. There. Now we have a few pages of paper that we can put there. Right? We do. Could also do the same over here. All right, how many pages do we have? 1, 2, I think just 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 pages. And we could put it there. We could, of course, sew it in. We could sew it in on both sides if we so desire. 1, all right, I don't know. How many pages do I have here? I'm not even going to count them, quite honestly. We can sew them in, or I can staple them together and then mount them on a little piece of cardstock and glue that down. We could do it that way. We could. Okay, we could do that. We could do that, and we actually have, let's see what we have over here. We have a little bit of this. We could actually, well, no, that's not going to be, we could do it this way. We could do it this way. Right? We could. We only need a little bit. We could staple it there. I'll cut this in half and we'll use it for both of them. And we could put it there. We could use that. The opposite side of that is not going to go. Or we could use these two pieces, which might be nicer. Also needs to be cut in half. All right, let's try this one. How big is this? This is 1.5 inches, so we need it 3/4 of an inch. Let's see if I can do it. 3/4 of an inch. Cutting it in half. Okay. There. And let's get our little stapler. Our little tiny attacher. Bring it here. Bring it right there. Do we want to? Do we want the page? Do we want the background to be a little bit over the page? Like so? Or do we want it edge to edge? And maybe just a little over. I think the dog is outside and my brother's ignoring her. Because and one in the middle for good measure, because I am hearing her whining. There's one. Yay! Here's another. Oh gosh. And do we want it there? We want it here. We want it here. We want it. Let's just center it on that white rose. And, okay. Like so. And now we're going to cut it the same. There. See? No scraps. No scraps. We don't want no more stinking scraps. And we could do it there. Nope, it's gonna have to be raised up. Put the top of the paper with the top of the green just to give room for the pocket on the bottom. Otherwise, if I put it down, it would run into the pocket on the bottom. Okay. And we are going to do that. So there. Is that good? I think maybe yes, maybe no, maybe so. And oops. I don't use staples that much because they leave a bump, and I've always cut myself on staples. You know, it's just, I don't know how, I just always cut myself on staples. So I still need to find that staple that flew the other day when I was taking apart that music book. So there we have that. Now, I'm wondering if, well, no, I was thinking maybe putting like a little, so there's that. We can still do something with the outside. Flat. Oh, hello. Alrighty then. This is when I was having trouble And it's glued right over the thread, so at least we know that's going to stay secure. So we have this as an insert. Boop, 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 boop. What fun. I think I might want to cover that with something just because, like I said, I'm thinking washi tape. Of course, this is the one. If I was going to do this, why did I even bother mounting them on that, right? That's just kind of going to get lost. So no, for now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to leave it the way it is, and I'm going to put this aside. And sorry about that. There are many different pieces of video that I need to cobble together for this. So this is Karynjean from Ex Libris Crafts. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. Oh, wait a second. Oh, you know me. I can always... Now she's barking to come in. I think I'll put this one right here. If I can find my... This is the one that there's such a lot of different ands. Notice I didn't cover the glue yet. I know myself well enough to know that as I'm saying goodbye to you folks, I said, oh no, well, wait a minute, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's not say goodbye quite yet. Not time to say goodbye. Break my heart. Oh, what is breaking my heart is Jimmy Carter. Man who lives his faith humbly, with humility for 98 years, Lord, you know. So, there. Okay. Now we will decorate this with something. I just don't know what. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for spending your much valuable time with me. I hope your imagination is going to marvelous places just like mine. I'll see you next time. Bye.